We are now 1 week into the new year, and millions have made resolutions to better their lives. Health and wealth are really the most popular New Year's resolutions, and it turns out that young adults are the most likely to make those resolutions. We're talking nearly half. 49%, ages 18 to 29, say that they made at least one resolution. That's according to the Pew Research Center. However, less than a month into the new year, well, guess what? A whopping 87% say that they've kept at least some of them. So on this Wellness Wednesday, how do we make those resolutions stick? Therapist Dr. Morgan Francis of Scottsdale Premier Counseling is here to help us. Okay, so new year, obviously, it's kind of like our annual ritual, right? But why is it that now is always the time to make those positive changes?
Well, typically New Year's, birthdays, they make a landmark for people. So we tend to see the greatest amount of change. Even a Monday could be a landmark for some people after a long weekend. Yeah. So this is when changes happen the most, and it's important to make those changes, and to create that, we need to make them very obtainable.
Yes.
So resolutions that tend to fade out or not be effective are ones where they are all or nothing, meaning like, okay, I'm gonna go all in, and the moment it doesn't work, then they fall apart.
Yeah.
You're out.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's almost like overcorrecting, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
what are some other reasons why resolutions would fail?
They're too vague, they're not specific enough, and they're too general. So a person may say, I wanna lose weight, but what does that actually look like? Yeah. Or I wanna get healthy. There's so many ways to define health, right?
Yeah.
So it's really important that we make them much more specific. And I love that acronym to help us, and it's called SMART.
Okay.
So if we look at the S, it is specific, so really narrowing down on those goals. M is for measurable, meaning that I can track my progress. And then we have A for achievable, so I know I can get there. I have confidence within myself. R is for relevant, so it's something that's going to fit in my lifestyle currently. It's something that actually I can put into my daily habits. And then T is for time bound, meaning I can look at the amount of time that I can spend towards working towards this goal.
Yeah, and basically, I mean, you know, so many times, like you were saying, that we try to make that goal, right, that resolution, and then we fail, and then it's like, I'm done. How do we get back on that track? What does that motivating factor look like to bring us back and just to not give up?
That's such a good question, and I have found accountability to be key. And we can get accountability through our friends or a support system. So do it with a buddy. Grab a person to come walking with you. Grab a person to go to the gym with. Make it so that it's more than just you. You're involving your children, your spouse, and your friends.
I like that.
And other ways too is just being able to make it very much more realistic. I think there's a lot of goals out there that we think, oh, I can definitely do this. But when we actually apply ourselves, we can see it's way more challenging. So being able to make it small, little approximation of goals, research says that we can build those habits. And if we give ourselves 7 days of building consistent habits, we're more likely to see it through.
Yeah, make it bite-sized, right? And attainable. It's so funny that you say 7 days, because I was just gonna ask you about that whole, you know, you've heard of it. It takes like 2 weeks to form a habit or something like that, right? Your take on that?
So I definitely think depending upon the habit that we're trying to form, but I'm really consistent with 7 days. That's typically what I tell my clients, like give it 7 days and be consistent. Consistency matters, and showing up for yourself. Making those promises to yourself are important, and following that through really builds confidence. Oftentimes confidence comes through action. It's action oriented. And so we don't talk about confidence, we do confidence.
And maybe not beat yourself up if you don't make that, you know, little step or the big step, right?
Exactly. Being way more compassionate, talking to yourself as if you would talk to a friend. Being patient with yourselves. Change takes time. And remember, these are, you know, we're creatures of habit. They take a time for us to get to this new level that we want to see. So I often say, it's not about creating like a different version of you, it's creating a whole version of you.
Yeah, a better version.
Yeah.
That was great. Dr. Morgan Francis, thank you so very much. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Good luck. All right.